a KQED television production.
I'm telling you right now, I am hungry.
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by
Redwood Credit Union, community banking for the North Bay and San Francisco. Business and personal, online and mobile, plus nationwide ATMs. Banking for people who call this place home.
Sutter Health CPMC announcing its newly opened Mission Bernal Hospital with all private rooms and comprehensive labor and delivery services. SutterHealth.org/Mission Bernal. Total Wine & More, offering more than 8,000 wines, 2,500 beers, and 3,000 spirits. Total Wine & More, now with 8 Bay Area locations. TotalWine.com. IRG has thousands of surfaces in stock now. Surfaces, selection, service. IRG at MarbleCompany.com. Oakland International Airport, now with flights all over the world. iFlyOAK.com.
Hi, I'm Leslie Sbrocco. Welcome to Check Please Bay Area, the show where regular Bay Area residents review and talk about their favorite restaurants. Now we have 3 guests and each one recommends one of their favorite spots and the other 2 go check them out to see what they think. In this episode, we take another look at 3 neighborhood spots. These are little gems feeding their locals with tasty bites from Mexico, Vietnam, and India. We start with a taste of Mexico from Season 9. Karen Halstead's treasured dining spot features unusual menu combinations using quality local ingredients. This eatery is small but comfy and an easy walk for the locals of this residential part of Noe Valley. Creative cocktails and ice cream flavors round out the menu. On 24th Street in San Francisco, it's called the Little Chihuahua Mexican Restaurant.
I'm originally from New Zealand. I've met my wife in Chile, and then we came to San Francisco. Our idea was to have a restaurant that was comfortable, with the neighborhood feel, lively, fun, but casual. My name is Andrew Johnston. I'm the owner of the Little Chihuahua Restaurant. When I was searching for items for the restaurant, I found a vintage sign that said the Little Chihuahua Mexican Restaurant. When I started to share that name with people around me, I got a reaction, positive and negative, and I liked that. So we opened our first restaurant in the Lower Haight District, and then we're here in Noe Valley, and we opened our 3rd location in the Mission a year and a half ago. When we put the concept together, we knew where the food was coming from. If I don't eat those products, then I wouldn't want to serve it to my customers. Fresh, healthy, sustainable, cooked fresh to order. Food is not sitting around, the proteins are not sitting on the steam table all day long. We cook those items to order for every dish we serve. The recipes are all my own. It's not traditional, it's more Mexican inspired. On top of serving great food, we wanted to have margaritas, sangria. We have great Mexican beer on draft. We have a lot of fun with what we do. We take a lot of pride in seeing people come back, and that makes our day.
All right, Karen, how did you discover the Little Chihuahua? They have 3 locations.
Right.
And this one's the one on 24th in Noe Valley.
I happen to live 3 blocks away, so I guess I'm lucky that way. And it opened up, and we were just so happy to have it in the neighborhood.
And why is that? It's not a traditional taqueria.
It's a few steps up, if not more, than your traditional taqueria. And what I love about it is it's casual and fun, but it's a little bit stylish. It's delicious, and I can bring my family there and not be judged.
It is very family friendly.
Very
sure.
family friendly.
Yeah.
It's we usually go for an early dinner around 5 o'clock, and it's usually just packed with people we know from the neighborhood.
And what does your family order?
Well, we try to stop eating all the chips. The chips are just so delicious, yeah.
Oh my God.
And that salsa bar is just too much fun.
Right.
I like trying all of those. My kids usually get a quesadilla, no surprise there, but I like to have the chicken tortilla soup. My absolute favorite is the salmon taco. It's a big, huge piece of salmon. It's really crispy and crunchy with a little bit of guacamole sauce and a crema on top. And everything comes with that cabbage slaw that's so yummy, and no mayonnaise, which I love. It's so good.
I can see you going mouth watering.
Yes, I know. There's a lot of mouth watering at this table.
Jody, when you went, what did you have?
I had the Pozzoli roll out, which was unbelievable. And I'm with you on the no mayonnaise and not too much cheese. It was incredible, like almost like a soup, and then it had the crunchy on top with the cabbage and the radishes. Gosh, that combination was incredible.
I'm detecting a theme with you. The crunchy and then the crunchy on the top. I love that. I love that. Well, you know, the owner, Andrew, is a Kiwi. He's from New Zealand and was an executive chef.
Well, I think once you get the crunchy and something green on top, you feel so much better about everything.
And you're a little bit quiet over here.
Well, I was just one of my favorite things about Little Chihuahua was a salsa bar.
Yeah.
I really thought that most salsa bars and taquerias can become dirty. You know, this one was spectacular. I mean, it was constantly cleaned by the staff, which is a very big plus. Yeah. And then the quality of the salsas and the different ones, that was very good. Now, I know it's very geared towards your neighborhood.
I agree.
But I guess that's what's the charm about it also.
Yeah, right.
It all depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for, again, authentic taqueria, this isn't your place. We had the enchilada, and one was cheese enchilada, and the other one was a chicken enchilada. The quality of the ingredients is high.
Right.
You can tell. But it was served lukewarm. That was the only thing. It was. I guess it's a testament to them not maybe using microwaves, because most taquerias probably use it, but it wasn't melted enough. You know, it wasn't hot. Other than that, the place looks really pretty for a taqueria. You know, it's trendy. It's that kind of place. Yeah.
And did you have drinks? Because they have a margarita from agave. So people know tequila is from agave, blue agave, but they have basically agave wine, which is sort of just another name for low-octane tequila. And they can do an agave margarita.
I hadn't tried the agave margarita until this trip, and it was just fantastic. It's double the size of a normal margarita, I think. And you could never tell that it's not tequila. It's just delicious. And they also have sangria for people that like that too. But this agave margarita, oh my gosh.
Let's talk a little bit about that plantain burrito, because that's one of those unique combinations that they're known for.
I know, it's incredible because you've probably had it so many times, but the plantain, I always think of it as a combination between pineapple and potatoes. You know, it sort of has this tropical feel to it. Right. And it just added to the burrito, it just added this caramelized quality with the beans. They told me that the beans were cooked in pork, you know,
so you have that sweet savory almost.
That was incredible. And then I had 3 things, and I took that home and I kept slicing into just one more slice. One more slice.
You have a lot of control. I ate the whole thing.
Exactly. I can see how people get totally addicted to them.
And in terms of affordability, where do you place this restaurant?
I found it affordable, of course. You know, especially in a nice neighborhood like Noe Valley.
Yeah.
I mean, our tab.
This is not your $3 taco, right?
No, but it's not like a $12 taco either. You know, I thought it was very reasonable.
Okay, tequila ice cream.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't have that. I have to go back.
I had both flavors of the ice cream. There's a Mexican chocolate. It's all from Humphrey Slocum, and it was Mexican chocolate with cinnamon, and then there was a tequila, almost limey flavor ice cream, and it was so refreshing.
And they make it just for the Little Chihuahua.
Yeah, it was so refreshing and delicious.
With the agave.
I would almost go back just for the ice cream and the margarita.
All right, Karen, this is your spot. Give us a quick wrap up.
If you want a casual, fresh, delicious Mexican dinner, definitely go to Little Chihuahua, and don't forget the ice cream.
All right, Chanel?
It's a nice neighborhood taqueria if you live in the neighborhood.
Okay, and Jody?
An eclectic taste on Mexican food, and I'm totally addicted to the plantain burritos.
If you would like to try the Little Chihuahua Mexican Restaurant, it's on 24th Street at Castro in Noe Valley in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-648-4157. It's open for lunch and dinner every day with brunch on the weekends. Reservations are not accepted, and the average tab for dinner without drinks is around $15. And don't forget to visit their other locations in the city. We cross the Bay Bridge to Alameda to reach the second neighborhood for our next eatery, also from season 9. It was artist and independent music producer Jacob Battersby's haven, with a patio, water views, and lots of cocktails. The family is still working together, and Mom's still cooking in the kitchen, preparing her own recipes for locals and visitors alike. On Blanding Avenue, look for Dragon Rouge Restaurant.
I'm Jimmy Lou.
And I'm Dan Nguyen.
And we're from Dragon Rouge in Alameda. Well, the family was started with my brother Scott, myself, and our cousin Dan.
It was actually my 30th birthday, I remember it. And I had this great idea, and I was like, let's open a restaurant. And they're like, okay, let's do it. And then, you know, a year later, we were open. Really, it happened really fast. And, you know, 5 years later, we're still here. We're happy. To decide on the recipes, we sat around in a circle and basically asked ourselves what we craved when we were away from our parents.
It's only natural for our mom to be in the kitchen, and she's here every day. All of our customers get to see her. They still call her mom, just like we do.
Mom works really, really hard. She's probably the hardest worker here. She spends hours and hours every day to make sure that the food comes out right, and that's her main purpose. All she wants is the food to come out the way she makes it.
We put a lot of pride into our bar using the same ingredients that the kitchen uses.
We really like to support our community, and one way we do that is by donating a lot of food and gift certificates to nonprofit organizations, and also featuring local artists like our very own Vera, who has art here today.
All right, Jacob, you grew up in Alameda, didn't you?
I did. I'm an island boy. Yes,
yeah.
I did.
You look like it. Very laid back.
I did. Oh, thank you.
Island
Thank you very much.
What is it about Dragon Rouge that draws you in?
Right. Well, growing up in Alameda, I've always been aware of, you know, new things that come into town. It's definitely progressing and getting a lot better, more, you know, restaurants. And Dragon Rouge, I love Vietnamese food. This place, it's just felt a little more alive. Than your average kind of hole in the wall with great food, and I just love the kind of contemporary takes that they have on traditional Vietnamese dishes. So,
and what's your go-to dish?
Oh my gosh! Well, first of all, I have to start off with the aloe sake tini. So they do, you know, sake you would think, okay, Japanese. They do that. They have a full bar, but they also have this, and it tastes like heaven water. It's like, I
love that.
It's so tasty. So we had a couple of those, and then I always get the bouncing beef. They're cubes of wok-fired filet mignon, and then it's served over a bed of watercress, and you dip it in this lime pepper sauce, which is amazing. So I got that, and I also always get the catfish clay pot, which is, again, another thing. If you've ever had a clay pot before, it's served in a bubbling pot with nuc mam sauce. It's a fish sauce with wonderful vegetables, broccoli, zucchini, onions.
You're shaking your head over there.
And the catfish is just like, oh, it's just melting.
What did you have when you went, Lori?
Well, I think I missed a lot of what you just mentioned, but they sound worth going back for. They had a very diverse menu, lots of things. I liked that their menu actually had some of the favorites or popular items in bold, so that helped guide us in choosing. But they had they had a variety of rolls to choose from, but luckily they had a sampler platter with that came out with 3 different sauces, so we were able to try a little bit of both the fresh rolls and more of the crispy rolls, and everything was really, really great. They had a crispy potato roll that was really divine. Yeah. And
these are the family recipes. I mean, these, you know, they came from Vietnam, the family, the Liu family, and so these are family recipes. Now, Bob, again, did you like it? Did you enjoy it?
I have never been to a Vietnamese restaurant.
Really? This was your first experience? Oh, boy.
And?
What fun.
Oh, cool. Nice. Awesome.
What was your favorite?
We also did the sampler plate on the rolls, which was fantastic. Very, very nice. And then we went for the combo barbecued platter, which included pork, chicken, and beef, and shrimp. There was more food than we could eat. Yeah. Unfortunately, Vera suggested next time in, we do the bouncing beef, which sounded good.
It's really,
and
really
at
good.
the table next to us was a sea bass that I wanted to go over and just take a little slice.
You should have. Come on.
Well, next time.
Next time. And what about cocktails? Because you did mention they have quite an extensive cocktail list.
Yeah, they do. They have a full bar, great wines, also a little local Alameda wines. And
they also had some Vietnamese and Thai beers, so it was hard to choose. There were some cocktails that called out to me, but I ended up going for the Vietnamese beer the waitress recommended.
Oh, nice. Which one? Do you remember what it was?
It was the 33, Export 33, and it was very good.
One of the nice things is that, which I didn't realize, they have a happy hour from 5 to 6, which is a 2-for-1 happy hour.
I like your thinking on this one.
We got there at 5 to 6, and Vera, our waitress, said, "You just caught it, and so order now." So I'm thinking you're going to get 2 glasses in front of you shoved in at 5 minutes. It wasn't that way. They presented it and waited for us to have our entree before bringing the second cocktail.
Isn't that lovely?
That's
so
cool.
Great service.
Absolutely fantastic.
Very
What about
friendly.
value or kid-friendly? Is this spot?
Yeah, I definitely think you can get your higher end dishes if you want to do that, and then also it's a great place for lunch. They have these $3 banh mi sandwiches, like grilled chicken. I don't know if you've ever had a traditional Vietnamese banh mi.
Yeah.
Those are great, and you can. There's something for everyone there, I think.
And then you can
All
go for a
walks.
stroll on the beach.
Yes, and Alameda, always going to be, pitching my town. I love it there. It's flat, beautiful Victorians, the beach is there.
Right.
We took a nice walk after to the beach, watched the sunset over San Francisco, and it's just a fun city. I love it there.
You really are a beach
I'm biased.
guy. You're biased.
I'm biased,
You're biased.
but hey.
All right,
Yeah.
Dragon Rouge is your spot, so
Yes.
tell everyone why they have to go.
Well, I think that Dragon Rouge is it's a hip, colorful, fun atmosphere with exciting takes on contemporary or on traditional Vietnamese family recipes.
All right, and Bob.
If I were in Alameda, I'd go.
All right.
Yeah.
Definitely tasty Vietnamese food, very friendly, warm, inviting environment. We went with friends who live in Alameda who are already planning on going back, so we definitely plan to check it out with them again sometime.
Great.
If you would like to try Dragon Rouge Restaurant, it's on Blanding at 29th Avenue in Alameda. The telephone number is 510-521-1800. It's open for lunch and dinner every day with brunch on the weekends. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $20. Our last long-established neighborhood is the Mission. It's where longshoreman Jack Salami from Season 8 finds his spot. Jack drives a crane, one of those huge ones at the Port of Oakland, and it's hungry-making work that only his neighborhood North Indian and Pakistani spot, serving up the rich and spicy flavors, can satisfy. It's on Valencia Street in San Francisco at a place called Aslam Rasoi.
My name is Aslam, and the restaurant name is Aslam's Rasoi. Aslam's is our family name, and Rasoi means kitchen in Hindi. We thought it would be nice calling it Aslam's Rasoi, Aslam's Kitchen. My dad's been cooking for 26 years in San Francisco. Working with my dad, it's amazing. I just get to learn all kinds of new things every day. We just work as a team, and it's a really strong bond.
Oh, I love my son. He's the best in the friend, and he's doing everything.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pound it out.
It's a North Indian restaurant, and it's all my family recipe. All the meat we have a meat all halal. Is #1 quality. We have open kitchen, clean kitchen, and we are very proud from health department for 100 out of 100.
I kiss his hands almost every day because the food's so good. What he brings out the kitchen is just amazing. I'm so glad that he shared it with me. At the end of the day, when I leave, I feel so satisfied seeing smiles on my guest's face, seeing everybody happy to the little kids, and just give him a little taste of, I guess, India here at Aslam's Rasoi.
All right, Jack, how did you find this restaurant?
About 10 years ago, me and my wife, we went to an Indian restaurant that my cousin had owned, and I fell in love with the Indian food. I've never had Indian food in my life. I couldn't get enough of it.
Right.
And then something happened where he left to open up his own restaurant.
And you're talking about Mohammed
Mohammed
right,
Aslam.
who has a rich history in
San
Indian
Francisco.
food as a chef in San Francisco, right?
Yes.
And so that's how you kind of came to the restaurant. You were following Mohammed all around.
I was following him around.
He was a stalker.
I'm a chef stalker. I mean, me and my wife, we'll travel 40, 50 miles just to go there and eat and come back and deal with the traffic, deal with the parking, deal with whatever we have to. And
must be worth it.
It is very worth it. I love the samosas. You know, when me and my wife go there, they come 2 big, nice pastry puffs of samosas, and we started ordering like 1 each. And then we got to a point where she's gonna order her own, and I'm gonna order my own, because we need it too, you know? It's not greasy, it's a nice puff pastry with the potato and the peas. The tandoori chicken is succulent. It comes on a bed of onions, bell peppers, and as they're bringing it out, you can just smoke through the whole restaurant. You can So whoever's ordering tandoori anything there, you smell the whole thing. And I mean, and their lamb chops, nice little pieces of lamb chop, cooked perfectly, very succulent with the onions and the bell peppers, melts in your mouth.
They were wonderful. The chicken was, you know, tender. The fish was light and flaky. I didn't have the lamb myself.
You're talking about the tandoori.
The tandoori, yeah. It was just every spice was different. Every bite was different, and it was fabulous.
And what else did you have, Jill?
We had the pakora, which was lightly
so those
battered.
To start out with, those
exactly. We had the cauliflower. It was still crunchy. There was a little integrity to the vegetables. Zucchini for the pakora. We also had the dal, which I loved. Again, the integrity of the lentils in the dal. That's hard to do.
Right. Michelle, did you start out with the pakoras?
We did actually the eggplant pakora, and it was really delicious. Really nicely battered, very flaky, delicious flavor. The sauces that came with it were really delicious.
Yeah.
The tamarind and the mint chutney.
The cooling and the heating.
Yeah, it made for a really nice combination. My only complaint was that we were kind of in the middle of it when the rest of our meal came. So we had ordered a bottle of wine. We were ready to kind of just have a lovely evening and felt a little rushed at that point. So the timing was a little bit off on that, but the pakora was great, and the freshness of the food, I think that's really
And you're vegetarian, so what did you get for your main course?
We got 3 courses as well so that we could take some home. So we got the palak paneer and the spinach with the cheese, and I really
I love that dish.
Yeah, and I've had that dish
with the cheese.
Probably 10, 15 different places, and I just really admired the freshness of their spinach. It really felt like you're eating fresh spinach.
And you could taste all the vegetables. That's the thing I loved, is each vegetable tasted like the actual vegetable.
Yeah.
And the service was great. We had vegan, we had gluten-free, we had all different kinds of people in our group, and she was so great about making sure everybody knew exactly which dishes they could have.
One thing that I love about that restaurant is consistency. I've been going there 10 years. The korma's the same. The samosas are the same. The naans.
And let's talk about naan, because
the naan was great. I have to agree with you.
The basket of bread. I'm so glad we did that. We were kind of debating, and you get 3 different of the breads, so it was really nice to try the different breads.
I don't know if any of you guys had the goat cheese naan.
No, I didn't have that one.
Amazing.
Okay.
It's flavorful. The cheese is nice and warm, and it's fresh right out the oven.
I want to recommend the bindi masala, which was the okra. Again, really fresh
that sounds
and
great.
bright, very flavorful. I would say a little bit more subtle in terms of flavor and spicing. And we asked for medium, and I could have taken it a little bit spicier. Sometimes it feels like Pakistani or Indian dishes feel a little overcooked, and that's one of the really nice things about Aslam's, that I felt like everything kind of came out just at that nice perfection of cooked, but still maintaining the freshness.
That's when you know you have a great chef.
The timing was perfect. The dishes were hot. The food was delicious.
You can always tell he puts a lot of love in all his food. It's like for me, it's just, it makes me happy just even talking about that.
It's a fun mix of people too. It's sort of hipsters and families, and I mean, it's really, it was a great mix of people in the restaurant, and they greeted you at the door. I mean, you could tell they were happy to see you.
Yeah,
so service
was fantastic.
Well, you have the son Asif, he's the waiter / front man. And he's always
the best smile.
Oh my God, it doesn't matter what kind of situation this guy's in. He'll always put a smile. He'll always try to make you happy.
The mark of a great restaurant.
That's
right. All right, this is your spot. Wrap it up for us.
If you like Indian food, if you like good flavors, if you like just the best food around, come to Aslam's Rasoi.
All right.
It's a great restaurant.
Michelle?
I thought the food was fresh. It was very inviting. The flavors were great. For me, it was a little bit pricey for Indian food for the vegetarian. And I live in the East Bay, and there's so many great choices. So I'm not sure that I would make the trip there, but I thought it'd be a great date night and a great place for groups. It seemed really nice and accommodating.
And Jill?
Great service, really good flavors, delicious spices. I love the integrity to the vegetables. I probably would go back.
If you would like to try Aslam Raw Soy, it's on Valencia at 21st in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-695-0599. It's open for dinner every day. Reservations are recommended, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $25. If you missed these neighborhood places the first time around, we hope you've enjoyed a look back at 3 local eateries. Now you have a chance to check them out, thanks to Karen Halstead, who introduced us to new flavor combinations along with drinks and ices at the Little Chihuahua Mexican Restaurant in San Francisco. Jacob Battersby's hometown spot that creates family recipes, adding their own contemporary twist. Oh, and don't forget the cocktails at Rouge Restaurant in Alameda. And finally, the place that makes Jack Salamy's mouth explode with incredible fragrant and spiced flavors, Aslam Raw Soy in San Francisco. So join us next time when 3 new guests will recommend their favorite spots right here on Check Please Bay Area. I'm Leslie Sbrocco, and I'll see you then. Cheers.
So now it's your turn. We want to hear from you if you visited any of our Check Please restaurants. You can post a selfie on Instagram, join the conversation on Facebook, and tweet us anytime. And don't forget to visit our website. All the shows are there, along with my wine videos and notes about the wines we drink on set. You'll also find our fun new web series, Taste This, where we celebrate food and drinks around the Bay. Cheers.
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by Oakland International Airport, now with flights all over the world. iFlyOAK.com. IRG has thousands of surfaces in stock now. Surfaces, selection, service. IRG at MarbleCompany.com. Total Wine & More, offering more than 8,000 wines, 2,500 beers, and 3,000 spirits. Total Wine & More, now with 8 Bay Area locations. TotalWine.com. Sutter Health CPMC announcing its newly opened Mission Bernal Hospital with all private rooms and comprehensive labor and delivery services. SutterHealth.org/Mission Bernal.
Redwood Credit Union, community banking for the North Bay and San Francisco. Business and personal, online and mobile, plus nationwide ATMs. Banking for people who call this place home.